all the exposed cables. Yeah, oh actually, hold on, no. These are no longer in use. There are some wooden buttons, but they don't hold the structure very well. I think the actual cable is holding them more than anything. What is this? That foil on that cable, not a monstrosity. Supply to the garage and for the hot tub. So this is where we are in Bristol. We've got a board just at the front of the property. Tom is already cracking on disconnecting the cables. There is not a lot of room, but I might just show you what Tom is doing. Yeah, there's just not a lot of room. I will go there in just a moment. Overall scope of work. New armored cable. We're actually going to drop it through the loft. Then let me show you. There is a garage right here, and this garage has that kind of supply at the moment. We could call this a distribution board of some sort. It has the main switch, all the exposed cables. There are fuses, quite old ones. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Oh, actually, hold on. No, these are no longer in use. Anyway, there's like a bypass going on. No, yes, it's some dodgy stuff going on here. But anyway, as we can see, this is not the most sturdy, secure way of fixing the cable. That's why we need to replace all of that. That's the old cable, I guess. And as you can see, we're working with prefabricated concrete blocks, garage, and asbestos roof. We will replace the new LED lights, so getting rid of these old tubes. We'll have one double socket right there, and we will have one double socket just below the fuse board. All of that has been designed to go within a corrugated conduit, just to help us secure this from point to point. There are some wooden buttons, but they don't hold to the structure very well. I think the actual cable is holding them more than anything. You can see I'm moving this one, and the cable, yeah, they just rattle around. So yeah, I think the decision will be to remove them. If we stretch the conduit from the metal post to post, that could work for us very well. And oh, what is this? That foil on that cable and the junction box. Yeah, well, we need to get rid of that. It's not a monstrosity. We're here, we're gonna save this, we're gonna make this work, and the most important, we will put the power out for this hot tub out there. Yeah, essentially supply for the hot tub. It's plug-in hot tub. One of those 13 amps, an outside socket would suffice just for this, but we are designing the installation already in mind with a client if they fall in love with the hot tub therapy and that extra luxury. If they decide to go for the real deal hot tub 7 kilowatts, then the installation in situ will actually be able to support this hot tub in the future should they choose to go for that. So that's what we do. We look at the future proofing of your installations, not only just for what you might need right this moment, we also think about what you might need this in the future to do for you. Tom just suggested that what we're going to do is we'll use the old cable, and we've attached our 10mm cable just with a bit of a tape. Put it nice and straight length all the way down the garden, and Tom doesn't have to squeeze right there into that gap. We'll see if it's possible to fish the SWA using remaining of the old installation. So let's give this a go. That's existing supply garage. We're going to change this to 40 amp MCB. We are going to go exit the board through one of these holes. Easier to look at it from the loft. This is like a recent rewire, and they haven't put any grommets on the actual knockouts. To me, it's a bit sloppy. Unacceptable condition! Whoever put this board, you know who you are. You could have done this a little bit better. While Tom is just getting ready up in the loft, putting rods in and getting this pulled in, what we're going to do is we'll need to prepare the corrugated conduit, push the cable inside. How to put the cable into the corrugated conduit. It's not easy. Sometimes it's actually quite the opposite. The best way I found it is if you stretch it really nice and nice and straight, and use the rods. If there's two people, you can stretch and push the cable straight in. It will go in. But if you're on your own, then rods is the only way, really. Can we navigate slightly different? I'm I'm heating something right now. That your cable goes through. There's just no room for SWA to fit in, yes? If we were to go back and maybe use an SDS to chip away some of the break. It's not easy. It's not always a case of removing the old cable and pulling a new cable in. Well, we can drill as many holes as we want, but then it's not going to look good really. And so we're trying to minimize the external appearance of the installation. And where the cable enters is you've got a brickwork and right next to a joist, so there's a very narrow gap. And Tom will be attempting to now chip away some of the brickwork so that SWA can actually slide in. Okay, with SWA, you always have to remember that the shroud goes in first, as in that little thingy. So, that's where I need to strip the armor. I'm gonna leave myself an extra length, but then the rest of it I'm gonna cut. Yeah, this is the time when I removed like half of the armoring at the same time. But on the thicker cables, the obviously steel is much thicker. We have to take in smaller batches, can't take like half at a time. It's all about this finish up here. It needs to be as smooth as possible.
A few moments later.
Black is the earth, brown our phase, and blue is neutral. What we're going to do is we will go around this.
One eternity later.
It was not easy, but Tom made it. So he's just second fixing the sockets and the lights, and we finally decided to go from the bottom of the fuse board into the light switch through the socket, and on the top of the socket we're just going to go into the light. It's just going to look much neater if two cables are going out in the bottom, passing through and up and over. So let me show you what the rest looks like, if we can navigate here safely. So, as you can see, the cables are going up. They're all being zip tied to the metal structure and end up drop down into the light, then up again and over and down into that light. And that's where the supply for a socket. There's a double socket right here. And this, I believe, is a back entry to the other socket on the other side. So we just need to enlarge this for our cable to go in. Going pretty well. Let me show you where we are right now. Right, we just need to terminate this socket. So what we have done here is we came through with a conduit all the way to the back of the socket, just to give this highest possible IP rating. And then on the other side, here we go. Here we go. That's what it looks like. Still need to do bits and bobs, connect this up, and Tom is actually connecting it as we speak. And it actually worked out to be pretty clean. So that's the socket, and then there's the back-to-back with the conduit you've seen on the other side. And it's all going just around, as you see, like this, all the way down there into the board. Really nice. Testing, connection, socket outside.